After 20 minutes of play, Quebec shot themselves in the foot with penalty trouble as they have been filling the penalty box in both of their games today, as that seems to be the trend for Quebec. They've taken a lot of penalties, playing physical, but they have to stay out of the penalty box.
Yeah, Quebec playing against themselves right now, and well, all this distraction of all these penalties and the physical play has been going on. Manitoba has taken a 2-0 lead, so it seems like the goals are the last storyline that you'd be following in this game, and you wouldn't even think that's the main focus of the game, but rather the physical play in these packed little penalty box areas that we've seen so far today from the Quebec side of things are the main focus.
Well, the goalies have been good. Noah Hurtubise for Team Quebec has stood tall. The shots on the board still read 4-3, but they are a little higher than that. I have 7-5 after one period of play. They're probably too busy figuring out all the penalties, as there is a stacked penalty situation for Team Quebec. So it'll be a 5-on-3 for quite a while here, at least a full 2 minutes, as that third minor that just went in to start this period will not start for another 25 seconds. So 5-on-3 here for Team Manitoba, as they are really struggling to get players on the floor. They finally have 5 on. Now they have 6. They figured it out as they've killed, though, 20 seconds of their power play. Woods, Delaron to the crease, big stop. Loose ball is controlled by Manitoba's number 15, Hudson Parnell. He switches spots. Up top is Woods. So they may have given a 10-minute misconduct, as a player was released from the penalty box. So it could be a 10-minute misconduct. We will try to find out what that penalty is, as we thought it was a bench minor at the end of the period. Morin now for Team Quebec. He's being shoved and bothered by Seth Klepitz of Manitoba. Into the middle for Quebec. The shot scores! Thomas Morel gets Team Quebec on the board. It's a shorthanded tally, 2-1 here at Canada Games Park.
That's a product of that aggressive defense there. Despite being down 2 players at the other end, Quebec pressuring, and that's the one thing you notice that leads to these offensive chances, as Thomas Morel pots one right by Andrew Isby. But back on that defensive play, you build up the confidence, you build up the transition play. Once they get that turnover on defense, and you notice whenever a Manitoba player has the ball, despite being down a man, there's always some sort of blue jersey going after them, and that aggressive play, it'll burn you sometimes, but then you'll see times like that where it leads to an offensive chance on the turnover.
So Quebec gets the ball back after a face-off violation. So 2-1 game now, as it is, by the way, a 10-minute misconduct penalty for Quebec. So they will be back to 5-on-5 as their penalized player now out of the penalty box. Returning is the captain for Quebec, number 13, Zach Paget, who was serving that bench minor. Ball was deflected out of play by Manitoba, so Quebec regains possession. Official Vince Burrell will blow play back in. Outside shot turned aside by the netminder, Manitoba's number 44, Andrew Isby. Loose ball battle continues right behind the cage. Coming up with it is Klepitz for Manitoba. Klepitz finally gets the ball over to the far side of the floor, where you ideally like to break out and allow your team to change. Klepitz now to the long flowing hair of Mason Harmachuk. Here's Parker Delaronde. Throws it over to his brother and the righties. Parker breaks his stick, needs to grab a new one. Delayed penalty coming against Quebec. Palms to the air, wondering why the call. But it'll be an illegal cross-check, and Quebec heads back to the penalty box.
Had Thomas Morel there just laying the body and getting some congratulatory pats on the back from his teammates there as he goes to the box, which is a little odd despite the big hit there. So they celebrate the fireworks, but you're not going to be celebrating the fact that you're going to be playing a man down here for the next 2 minutes.
You know, it's tough when you're Quebec and you see all these penalties being stacked against you. You almost second guess yourself what is a penalty and what isn't anymore. but I like the fact they don't really change their game in a way, because you don't want to play timid now, as it is a 2-1 game. Ball goes wide. It'll be picked up by Harmachuk. Back over to the righties through Delaron. Alex Delaron gets it over through Woods now. Harmachuk to the crease. Good stick and a better read by the defense of Team Quebec. Couldn't grab that one was Ty Woods. They did reset the shot clock. And I believe it went unnoticed by the official, so they are going to get a fresh 30. This one does get a shot on goal, though, and now they're not resetting the clock. Now Manitoba bench screaming for a reset, but I don't think they're going to get it at this point. Shot turned aside by the netminder.
And a good possession there by Manitoba. The ball, you see it just in each player's stick for about less than half a second. About 7 or 8 good passes before they take a shot. So trying to catch that Quebec defense snoozing, but they've done a good job on the defensive end, playing down for most of this game.
Laverne, 2-on-1 if they hurry. He's got Capella on the near side. Shot goes off the glass, high and wide. To the crease, better save by Isby as he was able to shut the door on Zach Baudouin. Up top, Sunday, unable to corral that pass. Aired pass goes right in front of the Quebec bench. Picked up off the turf by Baudouin. Baudouin uses the seal from Capella. Zach Baudouin now doing a good job just eating time on this minor penalty. Baudouin spins around one. That'll be a high hit, and that's going to be called. So Manitoba will be heading the penalty box, as there should be no reset on the play. So the 30-second clock in question a little bit here early on into the second period of play, but it'll be a Quebec power play.
As Zach Baudouin just leaning over there, you see his hands on his knees. He's got to catch his breath there. He was getting hit really hard up the side of the boards and able to hold on just enough, and he had the lane to the net there. It looked like he might have had a chance to get a shot off, but instead he's pushed from behind, so he gives his squad here a chance to play a man up.
Penalized player for Team Manitoba is Parker Lee on the illegal cross-check. Deer on the far side. He gets it back. He's got that very noticeable orange kind of sleeve on his left leg. Of course, the younger brother of Trey Deer, who played in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League for the Orangeville Northmen. 5 on the shot clock. Thrown up pass. That'll be intercepted by Morden, the draw guy for Team Manitoba. Trying to kill some time. Morden had a lane to the net, but wisely elects to just pull that back out, go for a change, get some fresh legs on the floor. Manitoba still looking to add one more on the floor here as they lead this ball game 2-1 against Team Quebec. Delaron takes a nice chop from Morin. He's able to backpedal. He gets a stick up high. Was the stick of Deer, and that'll be a penalty against Team Quebec.
So Delaron there, he started to play possum there for a moment when he saw he was getting checked on the forearm, and then he decided to go into more traffic because he knew that there'd be more contact coming. So a smart play there by the veteran.
So it's a minor penalty being called for holding, actually, and it's going against number 72 of Morin. So holding the call, Morin sits down. And now it'll be 4-on-4 lacrosse as Alex Delaron will start with possession. 12 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the middle frame. 2-1 if you're just joining us. Ball in front of the bench. Now over to the far side for the lefties here. Two-man game continues on the near side off ball, trying to get open, but that little backhand flip's not going to do much. Hurtubise has that for Quebec. The pass up floor was well short of the streaking Zach Baudouin. Staying on the floor is Baudouin to help, but they were unable to get him that ball as Miron got battled away from it. And here's Alex Delaron now. Power play for Manitoba. This is about their probably 6th or 7th power play of this contest, as penalty troubles have killed Team Quebec, yet they're 3-0 in the tournament. Woods across through Delaron to the crease. Never caught a piece of the netminder, so they don't get a reset. This is his brother, Parker Delaron. Bouncer. Smart play to just bounce that and try to pick up the rebound, but he steps in the crease. Errant pass for Sunday. Almost had his clock cleaned as he was going right down the tracks the wrong way. 20 on the shot clock. Sunday being bothered by Lee for Manitoba. Behind the back pass is beautiful. It goes off the look like ankle of Manitoba's number 8, Cole Kennedy. Manitoba's Kennedy has the ball now. He was being hooked a little bit by Quebec. The pass behind Lee is being caught somehow across to Delaron, who just came off the bench.
Long shift here for Tryson Sunday. Had a chance there to set his teammate up, and he did a good job, but he finds himself back in the defensive end. He's made the trip up and down the court a few times now.
10 on the shot clock. Delaron spinning away from trouble, and that is Quebec's number 17, Matt Lemonreau. Ball's turned over, out of the stick of the netminder for Quebec, and they head up floor. We're back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. And Schoenecker should be coming out of the penalty box as well soon. He's probably just waiting for a dead ball situation now, so our next goal or penalty will release the 10-minute misconduct. Now Lefebvre has the ball, dishes over to the bench side. Huge hit. Arms go straight up, and the Quebec coach is wondering how is there no call. But it'll be Manitoba taking over.
Yeah, big tie up there, big road collision, a couple big bodies coming together there. No call at all. You kind of wondered there for a second. It looked like it might have been a holding there. Manitoba got wrapped up there in Quebec, so Manitoba perhaps getting away with one there.
Back comes Morin the other way. He's got speed. Morin 1-on-0, just the goalie to beat. But Isaby is there. Izzy, fine shape all week for Manitoba. Harmachuk now with it for Manitoba. Ball will stay on the lefties. Two-man game here as Harmachuk and Delaron work it, but they throw it over to the righties on the far side. Coming over to the top. Harmachuk couldn't connect with that one. Delaron has it. The shot is wide, and that'll go in to the Manitoba bench. So 2 balls are currently on the floor.
So which one would count then?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, whatever one goes in first, if they don't notice.
The officials can't even answer that. That's an impossible question to answer.
Yeah, if they don't notice and you somehow sneak one in. So they've picked up 1 ball. We're now playing normal lacrosse, just with 1 ball here, not like dodgeball. Good rip by Tryson Sunday. He's so nifty. You never know when he's going to shoot that ball. As here's a beautiful lead pass, but it could be trouble as Quebec was there in time to apply the pressure.
I'm really liking when Tryson Sunday is on the floor, as well as Waxy Rice, 2 really aggressive, talented players on the offensive end. And Tryson Sunday's not going to pass up an opportunity to shoot the ball, as he shouldn't, given his success so far. 9 goals so far in the tournament.
Shots on goal seem a little bit low according to the scoreboard, as they have them at only 11-10, but it's as if they're counting every other shot as a shot on goal. So we'll try to get a more accurate update, as that was clearly a shot they don't add to the scoreboard. Steinwald for Quebec. He's just out muscling the defense here, creating his own time and space. Steinwald to the near side. Beaudoin. Shot rang it off the goalpost. Also got a piece of Isaby for a good save. And back comes McDonnell. McDonnell dishes off. Here's Harmachuk now for Manitoba. Alex Delaron lets his brother crisscross behind him. 10 on the shot clock. Alex Delaron on the back, sets a seal to his brother. Time and space. He had a huge lane. Outside shot. Clearly seen, though, as Parker now over to his brother Alex. Lots of time. Parker Delaron, look out in the middle of your screen, really trying to cause some havoc, setting a seal and tying up the Quebec defender. Parker just a big body for this Manitoba team, doing anything he can on that far side to open up a lane. Loose ball battle. 17 for Quebec is Matt Lemereau. He's trying to battle the big man, Parker Delarond, and he'll get possession as the shot clock sounds.
And that's the thing about Parker Delarond, a big body, but still you think twice whenever trying to go anywhere within about 10 feet of that Quebec net, because you know a body's going to fly out of nowhere and get you with a nice legal hard hit. So it makes you think twice. I don't care how physical you are. You know you're going to get served your hard hit.
Paget now couldn't squeeze that ball. Deer sets a hard seal. Paget just whistles the ball wide. Loose ball on the turf. This could be a breakaway if he's able to get there. Look out, goalie. Hurtubise came out and just enough. They wanted, saying he used his hand and moved that ball, which would be a penalty, as the goalie cannot, or any player for that matter, put his hand on the ball and throw it. Quebec goalie having a laugh with the Manitoba bench as if he just pulled the wool over their eyes and got one by the officials. To the crease, Quebec trying to make it a 2-2 game. It's still 2-1 Manitoba. Lee, give and go here on the far side of the floor. Manitoba now really scrambling just to settle down and get some 5 new bodies on the floor. Woods down low behind the net. Back comes Delarond. Beautiful save by the netminder, Noah Hurtubise. Fresh shot clock for Manitoba as Delarond is sent to the turf. He gets right back up though. Tried to send that to his brother. That's going to go all the way back. Look at the speed coming now from Miron. Miron, number 4 for Quebec. To the bench. Beautiful shot by Bourdouin. Gets denied by the crossbar. And now back comes Manitoba. They have a 2-on-1 themselves. To the crease on the near side. And a beautiful read and a better save by the Quebec netminder.
And you see Noah Hurtubise there letting Alex Delarond know that you didn't score on me, by the way, as he shakes his head. So the goaltender getting a little animated here. You always love to see it. He's into the game, having a lot of fun.
Klepitz back to the bench side. Angus will pull out. The underhand shot is a beauty. What a rip by Logan Chabluk. One of the hardest shots to execute. A low to high riser. And he makes them pay. Toba leads 3-1.
So just after Noah Hurtubise was letting that Manitoba offense know that you're not going to get a shot on me, it's Chabluk back the other way as he gets the ball at the top of the point here. And he just fires. And the best part about that is he celebrates, turning back to Hurtubise with a couple points, saying, yeah, we can celebrate too, you know. So always in good nature and a lot of fun here. But Manitoba building on that lead courtesy of Logan Chabluk.
That is such a hard shot to execute as the goalies are coming out, cutting down that angle to be able to pull one right up and over the shoulder, a low to high riser. His stick nearly on the ground where that ball started. Able to pull that one right underneath the bar. So a impressive shot by Logan Chabluk. And you were talking his sister playing in the female week for Manitoba. This is a very historic week for the game of lacrosse. And it's rather interesting. Not alone are we seeing brothers, but also a brother-sister combination.
Ali Chabluk, yeah, of course. And that's the cool thing, because you still see those families hanging out here. Even some families for the opposing, or well, sorry, I should say, if it's even no relation, let's say, teams are still hanging around here. You see at other competitions, teams supporting other teams. And yesterday I had the privilege of going over to the second pad and checking out some of the lacrosse over there. And it was really awesome because there were athletes that you could hear in the conversations. They didn't have a clue in the world what was going on, but the loudest part about them was those bells and those horns that they're getting going, trying to pump up their own teams. And a lot of families, too, you could overhear in the conversations. Not that I was eavesdropping, but I was hearing that they were just happy to stick around for this extra week after the female tournament last week. So plenty of good lacrosse to watch, and you're in the right place to watch it.
Well, to give you a perspective to see how big this event is, week 1 was about 2,500 athletes that marched in for the opening ceremonies, which was a fantastic, spectacular show put on by the host society at Canada Summer Games at Meridian Center, in front of a sold-out crowd of family and friends. 2-day turnaround on Sunday and Monday. Another 2,500 move into the village, which is where the players coaches and trainers and athletes are staying on Brock campus. It is a tremendous kind of event to see how this is actually being ran, as Quebec, the netminder being pulled to the bench on a delayed penalty coming to Manitoba. So this is week 2 of the Niagara 2022 Canada Summer Games. The boys box lacrosse week, and Manitoba here up 3-1 now finds themselves heading back to the penalty box, sending Quebec to the power play.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun to watch. I want you to keep your eye on number 88 in blue. That is Tryson Sunday. He just had a wicked shot there on net, which led to the dead ball for the penalty. But watching him and Rice on the opposite side of the floor, this is going to be entertaining with Manitoba down a man down. You can expect a lot of shooting lanes here and a lot of fast shots. Sunday rocking one of the quickest releases that we've seen and some top speed on that shot in the tournament.
So Deere is going to quarterback this power play. He does have Tryson Sunday to his left on the far side of your screen, but the shot goes off the face mask, and it's an automatic change of possession back to the defensive side on a goalie face mask call. Morden now has to watch that restraining line, as you cannot cross over shorthanded. Back up top, Delarond. This is Parker Delarond, the lefty, as he takes a slash right in the helmet. That'll be noticed and called by the official. So Quebec power play is over rather quickly, as that'll cause a scrum. A huge hit late by Quebec's Thomas Morel. The original call was on number 44 for Quebec, Etienne Lefebvre.
Just another play that kind of makes you scratch your head. Morel going to talk to a few of those fans in the stands right now, right behind the penalty box. But in a vulnerable position, a delayed penalty, you wouldn't think you'd see a hit like that. Parker Delarond with his back to the play, and he gets hit hard into the boards there.
Well, keep an eye here. That is a very bad hit. As you see, he didn't even have a stick, not looking at the player. His arms were in the air, defenseless as can be. Good job by the officials kind of de-escalating that scrum, as you see Manitoba flying in as if we're going to come stand up for our teammate. The player still down on the floor, injured. No calls or signals have been made yet, other than the minor penalty, which was the original call to Etienne Lefebvre. So they do sort out the penalties. 2 minutes for slash and a 5 for boarding. We will step aside as the player still on the floor gets looked at, as he is down for quite a bit. You're watching live coverage with 1:36 left in the second period. This is the boys box lacrosse game between Manitoba and Quebec from Canada Games Park. Back inside, penalties once again. It'll be Quebec's Etienne Lefebvre. 2 minutes for slash, and Thomas Morel. A 5-minute major for boarding, which Manitoba fans wanted his head. They wanted a lot more than a 5-minute major for boarding. And you saw the replay. Could have been a lot worse. So he gets only 5 minutes and will remain in the game after a scary play.
You had to laugh there as the official made the call. The fans yelled, "And a game misconduct." A few of them were yelling.
Well, that's why I hope you will attend a referee clinic and join us as referees, as we always need more across the province and across the country. It's so easy to yell from the stands, but try getting the best seat in the house, lacing up the shoes, and then making the call, having others yell at you, making decisions.
The only job in the world where you're told how to do everything every second.
And another undisciplined penalty coming against Quebec, and you could tell it's just unraveling, as this will be a 10-minute misconduct called. So it'll stay 5-on-3. Nothing really affects the floor as Schoenecker is sent. That'll be a second 10-minute misconduct, which means it automatically carries a game misconduct, rather, because you can only have 2 10-minute misconducts in one game. The horn sounds, end of the period, 3-1 Manitoba. And Matt, it's very similar to what we saw this morning. Penalties catching up with Quebec, and it's taking away from the game flow.
Yeah, I was saying to you there when we took a break, it's shocking to me how this is still happening. It's like a bad dream, but you can't wake up for some reason. And Quebec playing against themselves here, down 3-1. They're digging themselves into quite a hole here, not only filling the penalty box, but the mentality. I mean, we talked about it, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, too. You're going to get watched a little closer now, and you're going to be under that microscope with every single hit you do. But it's not even like it's stuff where it's could go either way. I mean, that hit by Morel there on